I'm Jett Daze, and you're watching Disney Channel. You know, there's something about the feeling of being live on stage, particularly, like, you know, recording is awesome, playing in my bedroom by myself is great. But I guess whether I'm playing live, like, at a show or playing in, like, my friend's garage or whatever, it's just the atmosphere that it creates and being able to unify with all these other people and their different styles, their interests, their feelings about things, and seeing maybe if there's some flexibility between those things.
It's all very organic, and it all starts with the song. I like sitting down with an artist, whether it's a writer or it's, you know, whoever it is, and I just want to hear about, even before, you know, even really hear much of the song, it's, you know, what is it about? Because that's going to dictate how it gets recorded.
Being in the role that I contribute to Mac and Jett Daze and all of the albums that we work on together can get a little bit messy. I'm the producer, I play some guitars, I help arrangement, and it's tough to switch those hats all the time. The producer in me wants things to be sonically on board, but the musician in me wants to keep the emotion, and sometimes those flubs when you miss a note.
The authenticity in this entire project is the fact that most of it was done in the studio by chance. We embrace imperfections when we're in the studio, where if I screw up playing a lead, it's not the end of the world. And sometimes it sounds cool enough or fine where we say it can still make the album and it can still be kind of that signature sound that we have where it's human and organic and authentic.
You know, I got the demos, the 9 songs that you guys sent me, and I always take a few listens through, you know, and then on the you know, after a couple passes, and then I started thinking about, okay, what separates these from each other. And so that was pretty clear. I mean, you know, you're a dynamic songwriter, so it was very easy to, you know, it was, you know, we talked about it. It was, this has got a Nashville feel to it. You know, this has got a nice acoustic feel. Let's throw in, you know, whatever it was, open tunings and stuff.
This album, I feel like, above others I've done, whereas usually I'm the one writing, recording, producing, and I get to put whatever I want on it. This particular album, where we had more songs than what was necessary or what was beyond the realm of actually accomplishing in like a week's time to record. One of the biggest things that we did differently this time was tracking 2 guitars at the same time and doing like a lot of live session stuff. So it was different to like have a lead guitar playing in one ear while I was playing rhythms and vice versa and things like that. And we obviously in Dan's studio have a lot of different gear that we haven't used before. So I think the accessibility to all these kinds of things really changed the game for the sound.
That's the biggest thing for me, that's my biggest philosophy is, and that's how I've designed this place to be set up, is that it's all plug and play. And so all we have to do is, whether I'm sitting at my computer or whether I have my iPad and I'm walking around, just hit record and we have an idea.
I found something honest with these songs. They were real. They weren't perfect. And sometimes that's harder to find in a good song.
I mean, everything so far has been real smooth. I would say the hardest part was probably just the travel. Like, an hour-long ferry, hour and a half to 2 hour drive, several hours in airport, several hours flying, what felt like an eternity with a chatty Uber driver. That was probably the hardest part, because everything has just been so easy. You know, most of these things came out in just a couple of takes. So Jett Daze came about from like days of racking, probably weeks, closer to weeks of racking her brain about just anything that sounded cool. Jett Daze kind of fell out of the sky for us just from conversation, research, and internet influence. And we sampled it and tested it out by putting it on like a tour poster, like a mock tour poster, and we were like, this is it. The songs lyrically, sonically, based on vibes, they just sound different. So we thought it was time to change the name.
The question I ask myself often is, when is it done? When is enough enough? When you're on the 5th or 7th revision and you keep changing EQ styles or different compressors just for a different flavor. But I feel like that when you're adding too much, when you're trying to force things that aren't meant to be there, that's when you know it's done. And I don't think we're showing enough of the process. I mean, we're kind of showing what these songs meant to Mac and what they meant to me, and working with Dan and how we can make these come to life. But if you want to know more about the process, you'd have to be in the room, be a fly on the wall. There's no other way, because when we're working on the songs, we're so deep into it, we're not really thinking about the camera work as much.
Going forward as Jett Daze, I would like to continue using more new sounds and emulating good vibes, or at least relatable vibes. They're not, sometimes relatable is not good, but something that people can understand, and write songs that people will sing back to us one day.
Give me another drink!
This is the best looking crowd I've ever seen. And I play this bar at least 3 times a week. You came for a bright side of country road. I could play either or a song I wrote. Just for a while, we don't know where we came from or where to go. Put on a smile, offer a smoke till the bars are closed. Baby, hit the lights, yeah, it's closing time. We don't wanna leave till we catch a vibe. Honey, I left all my best dance moves on the floor. Rip another shot so it burns your throat. And everybody pack up and grab your coats. Baby, I'm 3 sheets down.